So the media keeps lamenting how COVID-19 has caused economic devastation and other social problems, but that is a total lie. A virus didn't screw up everything, the government did.
And no doubt they're going to continue their dishonest spin of 30 million unemployed due to pandemic. Nope, not at all. The unemployment was entirely the result of government forcing idiotic solutions onto us, including the shutdowns and the stay-at-home orders and all manner of other stupidity.
It wasn't a virus that caused an avalanche of economic and social disasters. It was Governor Whitmer and Governor Newsom and Governor Ducey and Governor Cuomo.
And the massive jumps in suicide rates, which we've already seen and we're going to keep seeing, they're not from a sickness. They're from the dictatorial decrees from Governor Wolf and Governor Murphy and Governor DeSantis and dozens more.
When the media blames the dramatic increases in depression and alcohol abuse and overdose on coronavirus, don't let that slide. It was government orders and restrictions that did that.
And when you learn about the rising incidence of domestic violence and child abuse, don't let the talking heads on TV tell you that some disease did that. Government caused that.
And both parties of political parasites did it. This was never about compassion and helping. This was about politicians doing what politicians always do. Use fear to grab more control over you. And they didn't care how many lives their power grab would destroy.
And I hope you were paying attention to who was doing their bidding. So much totalitarian garbage has been attempted that even a bunch of their own enforcers, cops and sheriffs and such, have openly refused to participate. And good for them.
But a hell of a lot of the badge wearers continue to be mindless, order-obeying fascists, enforcing blatantly unconstitutional, illegal, counterproductive, and insane commands.
And the ones who are still just following orders and just doing their job obviously don't give a damn about protecting and serving you. They are there to protect and serve the ruling class and to force you to go along with whatever the politicians decide to command you to do.
Millions of lives have been destroyed in the past couple of months. And it was the people in power and their unthinking enforcers, not some little virus, that made that happen.
And no doubt when everyone starts to see the real cost of this totalitarian idiocy, those in power will insist that things would have been even worse if they hadn't all suddenly acted like dictators. And that's a complete and utter lie. And soon everyone is going to know that the government's solutions are going to cause more harm, suffering, and death than the virus ever could have.
Those who saw this as an opportunity to increase their power, to ruin your financial life, and to try to buy your loyalty with free money, those people have earned your hatred and contempt, not the people who just want to get back to providing for their families.
And when the full scale of this damage that they have done becomes too obvious for anyone to ignore, you remember who did this. You remember who forced this on us.
And that is the problem. When those in power get it wrong, whether they have some devious self-serving agenda or they're just incompetent, either way, they use their supposed authority to force you to do the wrong thing. They don't let you make the choices for yourself. They make you suffer for their errors.
And because they pretend to have the right to rule you, when their solutions create a complete catastrophe, they just say, oops, looks like we got it wrong. And they think you'll just forget about it and let it slide. Don't forget whose commands have destroyed so many lives in the U.S. and around the world. And don't forget who it was who enforced those commands.
And if you think the solution is to vote for a different ruler next time, then you totally miss the point. If you let anyone have authority over your life, if you let anyone make your decisions, your choices for you, if you treat anyone as if they are your rightful lord and master and have the right to treat you this way, then sooner or later, this is the outcome you'll get.
And in between all the authoritarian crap and economic and social destruction, a whole lot of people are finally coming to realize that if you want to be pro-freedom and pro-justice, you have to be anti-government.
And we're not talking about the pointless, wishy-washy political circus where everyone bickers over which opportunistic crook is going to be on the throne next. You either own yourself, and no one has the right to treat you this way, or to control you this way, or you are a slave. Arguing over whose slave you want to be is never going to make you free.
And if these megalomaniac crooks and their mindless enforcers keep treating you like this, and you let them get away with it, and you just quietly comply and obey, then expect things to keep getting worse. But if that's not good enough for you, it's time to disobey and resist.
Also, if you want to understand why government always ends up going in this direction, why freedom always tends to shrink, and why authoritarian control always tends to grow, and how to make that stop happening, then read this guy's book, The Most Dangerous Superstition, which you can find on Amazon.
Yeah.